If your business needs a new van, ute, or an entire fleet, stop wasting your time with a bunch of red tape at car yards or banks.
Nero Financial specialises in helping Aussie businesses gear up with smart, tailored vehicle solutions.
From tradies needing a new workhorse to companies looking to upgrade or expand their fleet, Nero brokers are the finance pros who understand exactly what you need. They work with over 90 lenders, including banks and specialist commercial lenders, to find options that match your cash flow, business structure, and tax planning, not things that match what they want.
They can even help you source the vehicle, negotiate the price, and handle every bit of paperwork. Get your business moving with the right finance. Call Nero on 1300 025 949 or head to nerofinancial.com.au/Paddock43 to get started.
Who do you think's more frustrated, Max or Lewis right now?
Right now, right in this very moment. I'm Elle. And I'm Pat, and we are Paddock43.
And this is your F1 fix.
Look how mean you are. You've cut your dog out of the frame on purpose. I was like, Elle, I don't want to move. I've got Merlin next to me.
Nah. She's out of the frame. If she's going to sit on the couch, she's not supposed to be on the couch anyway.
The side eye.
You've put her on the new pillow as well.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to be on the new pillow.
Well, the other one's taken the rug, the blanket for herself.
Oh, these duggies. They've been up watching F1 all morning. That's why they're so damn tired.
Yeah, happy and final Barcelona GP.
I know. Adios, Barcelona.
Adios. Do you know what? I am actually sorry for any of the Catalonian fans out there, but I'm so happy that I don't have to listen to Catalan anymore because I deal with that when I visit my auntie, and I'm not a fan. And anyway,
can you explain
that's
what
a whole,
that is?
Political issue.
Can you explain what that is to any English viewers that do not understand what you're talking about, i.e. myself?
Well, it's a little bit of like a political issue, really.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about it. So Barcelona is in Catalonia. Catalonia is a region.
Yeah.
And they have their own language, and like typically Catalan people are really like staunch, like we love Catalonia and we want to become independent, and fuck Spain and we want to be independent. And like I've had times in Barcelona where I've had times in Barcelona where I like speak to someone in Spanish and they speak back to me in Catalan on purpose. Like they're really like that. And they
Is it very different to typical Spanish?
Oh, Catalan is weird. Like I can understand it. It's kind of like a mix between Spanish and French, and it's strange. Again, sorry, we might lose some Catalan listeners, but like in a lot of Spain, all of Spain, they're just like, why are they such idiots? And they actually tried to become independent a few years back, and all these companies started freaking out, being like, what the fuck are we going to do? Because we have our head offices in Barcelona, and a lot of them...
Oh, isn't Zara like a head office in...
No, I think they're in Madrid. But there was a lot of... I like can't think of any at the top of my head right now, but a lot of businesses, they were like, well, fuck this. We're going to take our businesses and move them out of Catalonia. And then they realized, like a lot of Catalonia realized, like, hold on a second, we need these businesses here. But the thing is, because I think there is a lot of tourism within Catalonia, because it's Barcelona. Like there's a lot of tourism in Barcelona. There's a lot of beaches around that area. So they think that they just think they're the shit. And they're not the shit.
Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like, I don't know. Look, I'm going to take a hedge. You haven't watched the Tour de France before, have you?
I've watched parts of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was mean of me taking a hedge bet there.
I like it for the scenery, not for
so that's what I was going to say. Yeah. When there's not a whole lot happening during a Tour de France race.
No.
And so they fill in those gaps with like the scenery and then history and then any other current issues going on. And I actually found it really informative.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. You're watching sport, you're watching a very historic race, and you're learning at the same time. So maybe F1 need to adopt that.
They should.
Although I feel like that'd be like a super highly controversial policy.
It is controversial, and like I've said, they're super staunch, and so they always have to be speaking Catalan, and like even listening.
Media.
Well, yeah, the anthem, like even though I think the Spanish anthem is actually, fun fact, the only anthem in the world that doesn't have lyrics.
Really?
Yeah. Which is a fun fact. But even like, when they're doing all the announcements, it's like Spanish, English, Catalan, Spanish, English. And so adios, or adeu, as they say. You know what? Barcelona, I'm always like, it's a boring race, but they really went off with a bang this year, didn't they?
They did.
because it didn't end up being so boring. But we will get into that. But I think we need to, enough about Catalonia. Let's get into some news.
All right, F1 news for the week. Now, I only have one thing and one thing that needs to be discussed because I am going to get heated. I am going to get savage. And I think I am right in saying this.
Yep.
Lance Stroll is out of Formula One.
What, forever?
Forever. So, as we know, Lance Stroll retired early from the Barcelona Grand Prix.
Well, I don't know. He didn't even...
Well, no, he retired in terms of he did qualifying but never did the race. So he said he had wrist and hand pain and he'd been dealing with it the last 6 weeks and he couldn't race. Now,
we should mention he did injure his wrist pretty badly last year. So they said
last year or the year before. Yeah, so 2023 he injured it and he had surgery. Now, if he knew that he was probably not going to race, why are you doing qualifying? Because FIA rules state that because he did qualifying, the reserve driver could not compete in the race.
Yes.
So, huge issue there. And I think that tactic is so... everyone's got a problem with Lance Stroll, right? What has he done for the team? He would be wasting so much money. That is full Nepo baby type situation going on there. But... by not having the reserve driver in, he has now opened it up. Like, he's not opening up conversation, being like, oh, look how much better X, Y, Z, like it could have been Philippe, did for Aston Martin than Lance. He couldn't be compared to. So I think that's been done tactically and on purpose. Now what I think is going to happen is we've got a 2-week break until Canada. He will probably race in Canada. He'll, say, I'm managing my pain. Then we've got summer break. We'll have Silverstone and then summer break. And then over the summer break, he'll be resting and managing pain. And then eventually it'll come out that due to ongoing pain management, he will no longer be able to race in Formula One and he will resign.
Is that your oracle prediction?
This is the classical push out resignation, I'm resigning, but really it's the team gently getting rid of him. Because, look, let's be real. Lance Stroll will never leave Aston Martin. His dad owns the team. No one else wants to take on Lance Stroll because of Lawrence Stroll. Now, Lawrence Stroll cannot simply also kick his son out because he bought the team for his son, essentially. This is money at best at play, and this is a political way of getting rid of him on the team. This is how it's going to play out. Watch my words.
All right, well, I will watch your words on that. But the thing that I wanted to touch on about this, and I'm just getting up a little clip. So I thought it was interesting because, so Lance Stroll was out. And to your point, they're saying that no one can go in and race for him, which is interesting because it's just like a forfeit of points. Yeah. But then also they were saying...
What a fucking waste.
What a waste. And then
you did that to your team.
Yeah, he did it to his team. And then they were saying Aston Martin has an issue because... 2 weeks is Canada. We've got 2 weeks until Canada. Dragovic and Van Dorn will be at Le Mans. And Crawford doesn't have enough points. These are all their reserve drivers. Crawford doesn't have enough super license points to race in F1. So they were like, what's going to happen? But as of this morning, we did read that Dragovic has officially said that he will not race in Le Mans and will instead race in F1 for Aston Martin. So who knows? Maybe that's that. Maybe your point is right. That would be interesting.
I think that's what's going to happen. What is Lance Stroll doing for that team? I think it's time out. I put that theory out online and I was actually surprised by the response. So many people replied saying completely agree with you. So
maybe that's why he's going hard on his TikTok, because he's like, I won't be an F1 driver, but I'll be a TikTok star.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah, hopefully not. But
anyway, that's my news for the week. That is my rant. I'm very passionate about this theory and I think that is what's going to happen.
All right, let's get into the social corner.
Social corner.
Well, I'm a very happy girl. Do you know why I'm happy?
Why?
Because PSG won the champions. I know this isn't a soccer. Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh,
The reason I'm talking about it is because I don't know if you saw Isaac Hajar and
I did.
Pierre Gasly.
They had a little bromance.
They had like a football watching session, and there was a I can't remember what day it was. I think Friday. There was a fan or something. They gave him like gave Isaac Hajar a package, a T-shirt. No, Saturday after quali, before the Champions final. He's like opening it up all excited, and then he opens it and it's like the opposing team is like, throws it on the ground. He's like, dah.
That's
like,
like
and they give him
kind
a
of
PSG
giving
shirt.
the vibes of when who gave Charles Leclerc the marriage certificate?
Oh God, that's terrifying. I know. A fan.
A fan, yeah. And then Charles was like, no,
Yeah.
no,
I
not me,
know.
not me.
I know. Be careful what you sign. But that was really cute, bromance. Oscar's sister, huh?
Yeah, Oscar's sister Eddie, she was present at the Barcelona Grand Prix with her, I believe, partner, but I could be wrong saying that.
Yeah.
Could be friend. Not actually quite sure. So that was nice. Have a little bit of family in Barcelona for his win.
Yeah.
It was great for that little moment.
I did say that to Elle about, I was like, oh, Nicole wasn't there, but that's nice that he had a sister there.
Yeah.
One of the sisters.
Because it'd be harder for the family to get over there because they're, Australian-based, Melbourne-based.
They're there quite often. Like
Yeah.
they get to quite a few races. I mean, that's the kind of thing you just have to pick and choose which
You'd have to
race
pick and choose.
you will be
It's
at
like
and you won't
not
be at.
exactly the most economically viable situation to be traveling around the world.
Yes.
Watching races.
No.
I mean, they've been doing this since he was such a young age as well. But like speaking of economical and yachts, did you
Yeah.
see the commentary around Oscar and the
No,
yacht?
I was going to ask you.
Okay. So a reporter asked him, she was like, if you had a yacht, what would you name it? And Oscar's
Oscar. Okay.
Oscar's like, well, I don't even have that problem because I can't afford a yacht. And I feel like that would be a nice problem to have, like all my other colleagues on the grid, but that's not my problem. And it got me thinking, like, he couldn't even answer it. But I was like, surely that we've thought about. Like, what would you name your
Do you know,
yacht?
it's funny because I asked Peter this question when we were in Airlie Beach. So I was like, Peter, what would you name your yacht? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, obviously you'd call it like La Pat.
This is what I'm saying. Everyone would have a name.
So
Like, this
I
is
would-
just something you think of when you're a kid. It's
Yeah.
like when you, what is it? Oh my God, I can't believe this is so bad for women. But when we're girls, we're like, what's your porn star name?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think there's like a formula. It's like
Yeah, there's a
your
formula.
pet and your street or something.
Yeah.
But I would name my yacht Petra, which means like rock or like rock.
Oh.
Because Peter and I have this thing where we like call each other our Petra, like each other's rocks, and there's
I
like a
like
whole
that.
thing, and like our wedding venue like was actually called Petra as well. Which
Oh my God, that's so
yeah,
cute.
yeah, and we only
Did you know
kind of-
that, or was that a coincidence?
well, all like we put two and two together afterwards, and we were like, what?
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
so I
love
think
that.
yeah. That's what about you? What's
I
your
would name it the Merlin.
Sorry, Sage. Poor Sage. She's
Poor
on
Sage.
the floor as well.
Oh, maybe I'd name it the Sage, but I think the Merlin just sounds so cool.
Oh,
We're
so
actually
it
having a
makes
discussion
sense.
last night at family dinner. My sister's pregnant at the moment,
Yeah.
as you know, and Mum and Dad were like, "What if you named the baby Merlin?" And I was like, "No, no,
I don't think your sister would be like, yes, I'm going to name it your dog.
no." They like Merlin.
Oh, really?
They like the name Merlin, and I was like, "You can't name it Merlin. There's only one Merlin."
Yeah, you were the OG Merlin, darling.
And well, that's what I said, and then Mum and Dad were like, "Well, actually, she's named after the Merlin,
Yeah.
who married Sydney Meyer."
But then think like, oh, okay, well, she came first. But then in your family, current family,
yeah.
Doggy Merlin, who I'm pointing to, who's not on camera because you didn't want to include her, bitch.
No, but there's only one Merlin. Anyway, getting sidetracked here. But I was surprised that Oscar hadn't even thought of a name. But then I was
Yeah.
like, I guess he's such a calm person. Like
Yeah.
when he won the Grand Prix, he was like, hey,
Maybe he'll call it.
that was really great.
Maybe when the time comes, he'll call it the Lily.
Oh,
Cute.
or the Nicole.
Yeah, or the Nicole.
There's one for you.
Yeah, but hey, what happened? You wrote something about Alex and Meshki and people being mad. What's going on here?
So we discussed this last week. Alex, Charles's girlfriend, did a campaign with
Collab.
Meshki. Well, collab's a rough word here because Alex hasn't even posted about it.
Oh.
So that's technically not a collab. I strongly believe that she was just used as a model. She was paid as a model and an influencer for Meshki to use.
Yep.
And that's it. Because she never posted it. She actually posted about wearing Jacques Mousse at Monaco and all of that. So, which is an entirely different brand. Now, this is like F1.
Entirely different
ballpark of money
Bracket.
and tax bracket and everything in between.
Yeah.
But what people are really grinding their gears about this F1 collab, even though, like, look, F1, it's F1 WAG collab. I'm doing quotation marks with my fingers, is that when they posted the photos online of this campaign, nothing actually matched up to what the items were color-wise. When, like, the dresses, like, so everything looks different. Like, so there was some people thought that one of the dresses was like a dark mauvey red, and it turned out to be like a pinky purple. Ooh. Like quite light. Yep. So there's like a lot of frustration there, and people are like, what the fuck? And then people are getting angry at Alex online. But I was like, I don't even think this was a collab. I think she was just used as
a pawn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which happens all the time.
I mean, it does happen all the time. I guess you as on a photographer lens, you've shot clothes and stuff and you edit things.
You have to edit it the same.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've definitely been caught out where I haven't edited something quite as close, but like you have to mask out that and make sure it matches what the product is. Otherwise it's false advertising.
Absolutely.
But I also have shot plenty of campaigns where the model's name has been used in the campaign to make it look like a collab, and the model never posts about it because that's not what it was.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Because there's no reason why Meshki can't use her name though.
I guess that's one of those loopholes where it's like legally they've done nothing wrong, but maybe like morally it's a little bit wrong.
Well, it's not even. It's just like the F1 community assumed that it was like a full-blown collab.
Okay. Well, interesting. Let's get into race weekend.
The race, Barcelona.
Well, before we get into the race, quick one. This weekend practice, it was one of those practice sessions where we got to see the rookies out first practice.
Yes, new rookies. Rookies that are not on the grid, not the current rookies.
Yes, sorry.
Not the half the grid that is also the current rookie.
Yes. Sorry, I should say reserve drivers, actually. So there was just a quick one to mention. So Victor Martins was in Albon's car. Victor Martins was actually the F2 champion last year.
I did say that.
Yeah, so he's French.
Wait, wasn't Philippe Drogovic F2? No. Oh, no, that was the year before, 2023.
Yeah,
Never mind.
So he's probably one to watch. He did pretty well. Watch that space.
Do you have anything to report on how he did, or you just did well? How many laps did he do?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Just did free practice. Yeah.
Good on him.
Good on him. And quality,
I feel like free practice is such a nothing thing to me at the moment. I understand the benefit of free practice from a team's point of view and like all of that.
I think from a reserve driver point of view as well.
Yeah. But
that's when I used to have my opinions about Isaac.
I don't know what it is, but for the spectators this year, I just can't watch free practice.
No, I get it.
Like, I don't know. Tom got angry and he's like, why aren't you watching practice this on right now? And I was like, well, I can't be fucked.
No, fair enough. Some races, yeah.
Do you watch free practice?
If the time aligns, then yes. Like if the time aligns and I'm, not busy and I'm like literally actually, I'll put free practice on. Especially to kind of get like a feel. And also because it's like, think about when it's been, maybe because we're on to round 3, like we're on to race 3 of a triple header. By the end of it, you're like,
that doesn't bother me.
But see, when it's been like a 2-week break and I'm like, yes, it's back. It's exciting to sort of put things on. But it depends on the race. It depends what I'm expecting. It's got to be
after summer break and it's got to be after winter break.
Yeah, where you're like, put it on.
When you're like fully deprived and I'm like, I need something.
Give me something.
Give it to me.
Well, quali. I don't know if you have much on quali. The only thing that I did want to mention is Gabriel Bortoleto came 12th in quali, which is like pretty
That was
epic.
his best quali, wasn't it?
It was his best quali.
Love that for him.
So love is all that the kick is somewhat performing this season.
Yeah, the kick is performing.
It is.
Nico Hülkenberg. What? He's actually scored more points this season than the second Red Bull car.
That's crazy.
I mean...
That's crazy.
I don't even know what opinion to form on that.
No, well, yeah, let's get into the race.
Okay. Discuss that opinion then. What do you think about Nico coming 5th? Because I mean, I think it's just funny about the whole Red Bull situation.
Okay, well, that's a whole other thing that we'll get into, but very happy, but also, I mean, I watched the race last night until about lap. I like just got up to someone's crash, which we'll get into. And then I finished the last 10 laps here on this couch. And the fact that a Sauber overtook a Ferrari, like I feel like I'm going to cry. So Hülkenberg overtook Lewis Hamilton. And I don't understand that this is where we're at.
It's just
I don't understand where this is where we're at.
Okay, so you know how every week on Instagram we do the like predictions when there's a race? Every single freaking person, except I reckon about 3, because I don't put them all up because otherwise they're all the same.
Yeah.
Have said they want to see Lewis Hamilton on the podium. That ain't happening. And then
Look, we're a third way through the season and we've all been saying we want it. We want it.
I want it. Believe me, I want it so fucking bad. I say it every week as well. But then the fact that Hulkenberg, the fact that Nico overtakes him in the Kick Sauber,
And
and then it to come out that he's got more points than the second Red Bull car.
I mean, I'm happy for him.
But
as a
for him,
Ferrari
but
fan, I'm not happy.
I'm happy for him, but I think the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari should be very, very concerned about that. I mean, because that car's going to be Audi next year.
Yeah.
I think they should be so concerned.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
It's
anyway.
like, especially Ferrari, I'm like, are you, the rate that you're going at, you're going from that top tier to the mid tier. And that makes me very, very upset. And I feel like every week I come onto this microphone with the same thing. I really thought that Ferrari would do well, and I don't know what is going on, but they just
Second half of the year they'll do well.
I mean, look, they're okay. Well, they were on the podium, but it's the fact that a Sauber overtook a Ferrari is very concerning. And on the topic of Ferrari, I don't know if you did see lap 10. There's a bit of a battle, a Ferrari battle.
I must have missed that. What happened?
Charles was trying to overtake Lewis Hamilton. I was like, oh my God. I mean, in the end he did. But I don't know. I just think, I wonder what it feels like for someone like Lewis that is such an icon of the sport. And you're just, I mean, not to say, like, I don't want to sound ageist, but I just don't, I mean, mentally I would be like, piss off. I've been in this longer than you. Elbows out.
But you would also, at the same time, have that opinion and then also feel like maybe you're aging out. Which is not a fun thing
Which
for
is
anyone.
not a fun thing, no. No, not at all.
Like, fun fact, actually, did you know that apparently, completely sidetrack, that you have your biggest age-defining jumps at there's 3 points in your life?
Oh.
Where you, like, that's when you, like, age. And the first one's at 34.
Great.
Anyway.
2 years and then I'll be, like, a melted person on this couch. Haven't aged enough after becoming a mum. Have to start getting Botox.
Yeah, look, it'd be so frustrating being Lewis. I can't see him continuing this on next year. I think he's so fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
It's just not, like, Charles is doing well.
Yeah.
Charles is doing well. He's been,
he's doing better than Lewis.
Consistently top 5 all year so far. But Lewis.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
who do you think's more frustrated, Max or Lewis right now?
Right now, right in this very moment, Max.
I don't even think he is. I don't think he gives 2 fucking shits.
Nah.
Okay, so you heard, did you hear his
this.
comments afterwards?
No.
He was like, well, I'll provide tissues for you next time if you think that's bad.
Max, I'm sorry. Okay, we need to discuss this. So basically, Barcelona, you know, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, it's not the most exciting race. And then, like, it really turned on in the last 10 laps. So poor Kimi crashed.
Triggered a safety car.
Toto was not happy about another DNF for him. Triggered a safety car, which they were like, we have not had a safety car in Barcelona this late in the race since we don't even know
So
when.
it gave out an opportunity for everyone to change their tyres.
Gave an opportunity for everyone to change their tyres. Basically, everyone except for 2 people went onto softs. One of those people that did not go into softs was Max Verstappen. For those that don't know, soft tyres are the fastest tyre.
Like,
Max went onto
why would you go on a hard tyre?
So, I was listening to something about
Because
this
hard
this morning.
tyres take ages to warm up.
Take ages to warm up.
And
They
it's the
are
end of the
long
race.
game. So, I did hear that they were saying that the reason they probably put him on hards is because they didn't have any softs left after, like...
Well, that's what they said. The team actually said that they had nothing left.
Because they basically, for those that don't know, you have like a set of tyres that you go into the race weekend and you have to use those tyres throughout the weekend. So they were saying they probably didn't have any new softs. But this is the thing, right? They would have had old softs. They would have had old softs that were like a bit worn And I think that they
I think
fucked up because they could have put an if someone can make a tire last,
I reckon they shouldn't have changed his tires in general.
Or they shouldn't have changed tires. But if someone can make a tire last, it's Max Verstappen. You could put the most shaved softs and he would have made the car. He could have
agree with that.
Potentially even won. On a shaved pair of softs. So that's why he was frustrated. I understand that he was incredibly frustrated with the team. But
essentially he swore, he got angry at the radio, and then Max played a little bit of Mario Kart.
He was like an angry child, like spat the dummy. I said to Elle this morning, I was like, that kind of behaviour, I mean, Nico Rosberg was pretty shocked.
Everyone was shocked by his behaviour. George was just like, this is the guy that like most people don't see. Like if he doesn't get his way, he cracks it. Yeah, he gets angry and he gets violent.
Such a yuck.
It's violent. And then that's what the reporter was saying. She was like, saying to Max when he made that tissue comment, she said, like, you've got lots of young kids watching you right now.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
So once like the
and then to ask that, like, make that comment about the tissues in relation to comments about, you know, your behaviour with young kids watching you and looking up to you.
Yeah,
whilst you wear the number one. Like,
it's yuck. It's really yuck and unacceptable behaviour. And for those that didn't see it, so basically the safety car had come off and then most of the cars had their, you know, fresh tyres. Charles Leclerc was able to overtake Max. Charles is literally driving in a straight line and Max kind of bumps into him a little bit and he's like, he drove into me. And they're like, no, he clearly drove into Charles. And then afterwards, he kind of got pushed off, but like it was sort of his fault with George. Then it was investigated. Then he had to give the place back to George. George thought he was giving the place back. And then like a child, just as if a child was in a bumper car, just rammed his car into George. George was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so have you seen the two reports on this since then? You may have not.
No, please elaborate.
Charles technically didn't have that right of corner.
No.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
They did the full analysis on it.
But Charles was going straight.
Yeah, they did the full analysis. You got to hit 3 out of 3 point markers, and Charles only hit 2 out of 3. So technically, Max had that corner from where he was lined up on the mirrors. Now, also, no one ever told Red Bull that Max had to give that place back to George. Red Bull just assumed. And the FIA has now come out and said, no, we never would have thought that.
I don't know. I think it was still a brat.
So it's, Max was a brat. Don't get me wrong. Max acted like a fucking brat. But this is all like also a huge fucking misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And the fact that, he wouldn't have actually had to have given that place back to George. Red Bull just assumed.
Yeah.
Like no one ever gave them that rule.
Yeah. Well,
and then also it got proven that it was actually Max's right away in that corner.
Well, do you know what? His true colours came out and
the true colours though was not great.
Look, true colours was not great.
And now that we know all that information, you go, well, I could see why he's frustrated. And Max is like, see, I am right again.
Absolutely.
No, because he's like, I am right again. Like, I'm always fucking right. Yeah, he's always fucking right.
He's always right.
But that behaviour, not okay. No. I don't know. Is he tired from being a new dad?
Maybe.
Is that maybe. Is that mean to say?
And then they were saying like, oh, all this comes just at the same time that there's like rumours that Toto Wolff wants Max and anyway.
Yeah. Well, Christian Horner was trying to make comments about it and he was going, he's like, I think Max is he was like undermining the behaviour pretty much. Very Horner type typical, comments of
they
like
each other.
Yeah. It was just reminding me of all those that incident early last year. And Toto Wolff was also just saying, like, I just don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
I can't make comment on it. And that's what all the other drivers were saying as well. They were, trying to ask Oscar about it. And he was just like, I can't make comment because I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Just saw the crash. Lando saw the crash and, they're obviously in that driver's cool down room and they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, so awkward. And
Lando goes, I've done that before. And it was just silent because you can just see Charles and Oscar being like, oh, don't make comment.
Yeah.
And then he goes, in Mario Kart. And they start laughing, but they make no other comments about it.
That's funny.
Because no one knows what fucking happens.
No.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. Random moments of the week?
My two.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Lando Norris walking into the wall. Very
funny because we both
footage.
had this. Very funny.
It's
and
just
especially
funny footage.
it's funny footage and also it was the comments like Lando hits a wall. As if it's like,
Yeah.
sounds like he's in a car.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a car.
It
he
was just
walking.
really, really funny footage. And then also Carlos
Wait, for those
Sainz.
that missed it, he's just walking into the paddock and like there's all these cameras on him and he literally just walks into a wall.
Yeah.
I
He's
was
just
like-
got a million people around
And
him.
he managed to get on the podium. So
Yeah.
well done. Obviously he wasn't concussed from that.
No, it's fine. And then my next one is Carlos Sainz. He was didn't realize he like snuck into an area of the paddock or wherever he was going, and he didn't realize they were filming, and it was like reporters filming, and so he tries and like ducks through, and he goes like this. He's like, "You're not going to really be able to see it on the camera, but I'm going to show you, Pat." So there's like TV crew there. He's like, "Ooh." Ooh. Like he's trying to do like the limbo or something like that. It's just like he's trying to get out of the positioning, but it didn't work well.
Well done, Carlos.
Yeah.
You tried.
What's yours?
Well, yeah, Lando and also Terry Crews interviews.
I know.
I love Terry Crews. You know the guy from White Chicks?
That's what I just think of.
He loves the F1. He's at most races, but interesting to see him at Barcelona because he's usually at all the US races.
Yeah, that's what I
haven't-
thought. And then he was interviewing the guys after they won.
Yeah, which he's funny. I know, like he was, you know, he's being serious, he's doing a job, but I'm like, I just can't see past him being like the comedian that he is. But hey, no race this weekend. We're
race.
in Montreal in 2 weeks. So we will give our predictions then. But I think we've got to wrap this up with our green flag and red flag.
Ooh,
Go on.
You go first. You go first. I feel like I always go first. I'm making you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. My red flag, and I feel like you're the same. Just so busy at the moment. I've had like a few little mentee bees because it's really exciting that we have so much work on. But it's just, I feel very overwhelmed with how much stuff that I've got to do. And for those that know, like I am a full-time parent, so it is hard to get stuff done as a parent. I used to think, I've said this before, but I used to think, oh yeah, mums are just at home, like they can just get stuff done. You can't. It's very hard. I also like don't like having my phone out. I mean, sometimes I do because I'm like texting you, but I don't really like having my phone out and like doing work. Like I do want to be really present with Gabriel. So it is hard. He also goes to bed late, so I don't really get that time. So that's just been tough, and Peter's been away this weekend. So that's probably my red flag. But it is also a green flag because it's nice to have stuff on. And, you know, we are at this growth phase. So it's not like you just kind of go into a job after being a parent and you just sort of like slip back into it. It's like we're really hustling. So that's been a bit tough. And that's kind of a bit of my red flag as well, is that it's Gabriel's first birthday on Sunday and I just feel like it's snuck up and I can't believe he's turning 1. I guess, yeah, that's my green flag and red flag. Like it's exciting that we've got all these cool things in the pipeline, but yeah, that's that. Sorry for sounding like such a downer. What about you?
My green flag is that Tom made me the best burrito of my life. Breakfast
Ooh.
burrito yesterday.
Yum.
Was excellent, like perfected proportions.
Yum.
I think this says a lot about how, and then the rest is just work.
Yeah.
Nothing too major. We
did something really exciting on Friday as well. Actually, that's also a green flag.
You hear about that soon.
Yeah, you'll hear about that soon, and we will be discussing more of that.
Yeah, and next week we also have an interview coming out.
Yes.
With lovely Hayley Genovese Conway,
Yes.
who was on the podcast last year, also my business partner, but she is going to run down with everyone about working in F1.
Yes.
And just answer everyone's questions. So that's really exciting as well.
Yeah. But that's all we got time for. We'll be back in your ears next week. And thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all of the above. Keep the conversation going.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I know if I ever see the light, I'll be up in the club and so